Hi and welcome back to Armchair Pundits. Today we have Leon, we have Yao.
Hello, what's up?
The World Cup is fast approaching and we're going to move swiftly as we can into Group E, where we have Switzerland, Ecuador, France and Honduras, which is probably one of those groups that no one's going to want to watch. So it's probably going to be at 2 o'clock in the morning, English time. But we do have a team that wanted to destroy England physically. We have a team called Honduras. Then we have France, who have lost their talisman in Ribery, but have replaced him with Remy Cabay. Is it Cabay? Cabela. Who had a very good season. And here's a stat for you: he was the most fouled person in the French league this season. So he will be getting a lot of free kicks in around the box.
Okay.
So we'll have to wait and see. He's very slight, very lightweight, but he's someone at Newcastle we're trying to get instead of
another French player.
Yeah, instead of Johan Cabay. We have Switzerland, who exited the last World Cup without losing a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Ecuador, who have an interesting squad, a group of guys who played England as well, got very physical as well, but actually played decent football to a degree. So, their standout players are Felipe Caicedo, who, was it me? Or did he look taller and slimmer than when he was...
He's lost weight.
Yeah, but he looked taller. He almost looked like he was 6'2". Before, he looked like a stocky
No, he was always
guy.
quite tall.
Yeah,
but he just went
he's
with
still
the
looking. So I was thinking, is there more than one Caicedo? And I'm looking at the squad now and there wasn't. So it definitely was him. Obviously the standout guy is Valencia from Man United. And then you've got a guy who I wanted at Liverpool, Jefferson Montero.
Yeah,
he had a stint in Spain, but then he went to Mexico and he's playing out there. And then obviously you've got the old man of Ecuadorian football in Edison Mendes. He's played for PSV, years and years of Champions League football. So they've got some decent experience in there.
Yeah.
But how do you think they'll do in this group, honestly? Have they got a chance against France and Switzerland?
I think Switzerland has a lot more quality than they did in the last World Cup.
Yeah.
They've got some really good young players in there now, and they were always known as a very organised team, but they never really had cutting edge. As you said, they went out without losing, but I think they drew like three. They won it. They beat Spain, and then they drew 2 games in there.
Yeah, and then they drew in the next round,
and then went out on penalties, right?
Yeah.
So I think they've got a lot more cutting edge in their team. Shaqiri of Bayern is a very good player, winger. And up front they've got Seferovic, who plays for Real Sociedad, who came through their under 21. I think they won the under 21, it was under 19 World Cup, something like that, a couple of years ago. So they've got some really, really good talented players. And
they've got Liechtensteiner from Juve, who's done really well. They've got Granit Xhaka.
Fabian Schär, he's come of age in this season for Basel.
Rito Sigler, I think he's a quality left back, to be honest with you.
I'm not sure if he's quality. I don't know.
He's always been a bit.
Yeah. He was at Tottenham and it's like... Okay.
He's bounced around a lot of clubs.
Yeah, Juve, when Juve bought him, I was like, huh?
He has bounced around, but I've always... You have those players that you take to. I've always thought he could put him... When he's on song, he's one of those left back that I actually appreciate.
They've still got Joseph Fernandez, who had a spell at City and Everton.
Got Ricardo Rodriguez, left back, who's
highly rated at the moment.
Very.
And then they've got the dynamic, absolute mare of a football player, Johan Giroud. That guy's shocking. He's absolutely shocking. He's lucky to even be at another World Cup.
He plays well for them though. You don't get 44 caps for your country without, doing something.
You do if the years before they were crap.
Listen, they've got a good squad.
They have got a good squad.
They've got Otmar Hitzfeld, who knows how to get the job done. So you have to give him some respect.
Yeah, most definitely.
Will they concede many goals? I don't
think so.
No. But this time round, I think they've got the firepower. Even look at Valentin Stocker, who's had a decent run in Champions League football.
Yeah.
You've got Shaqiri, like you said. You've got Gökhan Inla, who is highly rated.
Yeah, rated.
He's been around in Italy for donkey's years.
Valentin Barami, who just bites everyone's ankles, so he gets in and around. So for me, strongly think they'll finish second.
I think France will top the group.
Yeah.
But I think Switzerland will definitely run them to to a fight for the top.
I don't even want to be disrespectful towards Ecuador or Honduras, but what I will say is that it should be a France-Switzerland 1-2, most definitely.
So now looking
French
at
squad.
the French squad fully, I mean, even picking the first 11
It's tough.
It's tough because do you choose Sanya? Do you choose Debussy? Obviously, you choose Lloris in goal, but we were talking about it in one of my WhatsApp groups, and everyone thought, the centre back pairing is set in stone, but is it really? Sacco through the friendlies has been vice captain, so that tells me Sacco is going to start. Then you've got Koscielny, who has played a lot of the games, but that's because Varane had a little knock. Is Varane going to start? Is Koscielny going to start? Who would you pick out of the two?
But they've still got Mangala as
and
well.
they've got Mangala. But to be fair, Mangala
Hasn't got a lot of international
he
experience.
hasn't. He hasn't, and he didn't really play the friendlies. He came on the last few minutes and just here and there. He's highly rated. Once Man City want him, but you got to give them props. They have got now a really good looking.
What you'd
defence,
say
I think.
about
And it's quite
France
young as
this
well.
time, what you wouldn't say about France is they've got a load of already world-class players, but they've got a lot of very good players, and they've got a very deep squad of very good players. Paul Pogba is probably the standout player in that team,
Yeah, most
along with Benzema now because of Ribery getting injured for me.
You know what, Benzema is
Obviously, Lloris
Yeah,
in the sticks.
he's
Can't
quite-
really argue. He is probably the one defined world-class player in that squad.
because for me Benzema is, I don't know, he's
It's
just
hit and miss.
he's just let me down, to be
He's
honest
hit
with you.
and miss.
I expected him to be,
He's
you know,
very hit and miss for France.
yeah, I expected him to be, you know, of real quality. I'm not saying he's not quality, but I'm talking about like
Producing it.
week in, week out, and he just hasn't done that. Pogba is quality, bro. You can't even take it away from the kid. He is pure
So-
class.
Fergie made a mistake.
A big mistake.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
Pogba was sitting there saying, "Boss, I'm ready. Boss, I'm ready." And he said that he sat there. When I was reading an article about him, and he said the day he decided he was leaving is when one of the Silver Twins played defensive midfield and not Pogba, and it was like, "I'm gone.
And I don't blame him.
I'm destroying it in training," and he puts Rafael or Fabio in defense in centre midfield.
I'll make a player go mad.
And it was like, no, and that Carrick. Yeah, so Carrick was doing his thing, but then he was even behind the guy that everyone doesn't like in England, that midfielder, cleverly. So I don't know. For me, I think they stand out. The breakthrough guy, who I think could have a really good tournament now that Ribery's out injured, Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann.
Yeah, he has a chance, man.
He's now got a chance of to solidify one of the wings, more likely the right wing. Will he have a good tournament?
You
Do
know
you
what?
think he's ready?
I think he's good enough to start. I would even say that because he's had a very good season with Real Sociedad. You know, like he's been one of their standout players
For the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, in my eyes, he's been one of their standout players. Obviously, losing Ribery is a big blow to France, and if Ribery was there, Ribery starts. You know, because of his impact and what he's done. But Griezmann would definitely give him a good challenge, and now that he gets his chance, I think he's going to have a good World Cup. I think him and Pogba will be the standout guys for that team, personally. And probably if they start with Rafael Varane at the back, then obviously everyone knows that Rafael Varane. I'm a big fan of him, and I think if he starts and plays, he would have a good tournament as well.
Looking at the way they've lined it up, do you read too much into the squad numbers? Because the way they've numbered the squads, you've got Lloris number 1, Debussy number 2, Evra number 3, Varane 4, Sacco 5, Cabaye 6. It was obviously Ribery number 7, but that's now given to Remy Cabella. Valbuena number 8, Giroud number 9, Benzema 10, Griezmann 11. Do you see that being, okay, take out Giroud and put in Pogba? Obviously he likes number 19 is where he's taking it. Do you see that being the starting lineup?
No, I think most of the squads are like that. What
Yeah.
you do, right backs are number 2, left backs are number 3. It's just what you do, unless you're one of those players that really wants to have number 2 or number 3. That's just how it works. You look at all the squads; it's the same. I don't think you can.
But the fact that Debussy's been given 2 over Sanya, for instance, does that show that he's probably the first choice, number 2?
Not
Not necessarily. I actually think Deschamps has probably got one of the toughest choices, and it's a good thing. And I think for France, when they're usually going into tournaments having beef in their camp all the time, it's about time that they've actually got a squad of players that kind of are all kind of matched with each other. There's a lot of competition places.
Yeah, definitely, I agree with you. I mean, to be honest with you, I would probably start with Sanya, to be honest with you. Debussy had a decent, I'd say decent, probably a half decent season with Newcastle, but in all honesty, I'll go with Sanya. Sanya's just come off the back of the FA Cup victory. He's high, he's hype. You know, give him a start. That's what I would do.
Okay, so this group,
France and Switzerland.
France and Switzerland all the way.
Okay, moving on to, after watching last night, not too impressed with Nigeria. So this group F, consists of Argentina, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Iran and Nigeria. Thankfully for Nigeria, their first game is against Iran. So hopefully they can win that game. Let me just say, sorry, Amiobi, but why? Why is this guy at the World Cup? I jokingly said to my friend yesterday, like, I never wish injury on anybody. But please, why can't he injure his hamstring and then call up someone else?
You
At
know,
least injuring your hamstring you can come back from, so it's not life-threatening. So it's not a really bad injury. But he looked so poor yesterday. He can hold up the ball, but then it's like, what do you do afterwards? The guy's got, I think he averages 2 goals a year, career average, something crazy like that. I might be wrong, but something crazy like that. I'm so happy Emenike came on, and against USA yesterday, we lost 2-1, but there was a vast difference. I'm happy Onwenge saw that his problems with Keshi, because he's in the squad, but please, I just hope Amiobi does not see the pitch, unless he's there to hold up the game for someone or to win headers in the box, because he's not ready for me for a World Cup.
to be honest with you, he can count his lucky eggs that he's even at this World Cup. Amiobi, let's be honest, like, I know people don't want to say it, and people up in the north have probably, got a shrine of him or somewhere, but he is absolutely shocking, and I mean shocking. He is a dreadful footballer, absolutely. He's one of those players that you just got to sit there and say, whoever helped you to become a professional footballer, thank them and give them half of your paycheck, because you have robbed us, mate. That's what you've done. You've robbed us of quality TV. That's exactly what he's done. I'm not going to watch any game that he starts. I'm just letting you know right now. If he starts for Nigeria, I'm not watching the game.
He won't start because Emenike gets injured. Emenike is our main striker, so he won't start. But moving on from Nigeria, we have obviously a very, very good team in Argentina. We have Messi in that squad. We've got
Bad intentions.
Aguero, DIA. Oh my gosh, this kid is going to destroy some souls.
The other day, Argentina had a friendly, and they brought on Di Maria, Sergio Aguero, and Messi on as subs, and they all combined for the final goal. It was quality goal.
2-1 win.
Yeah.
It was 2-0 win.
And you can just see that is going to be their strike force going in this tournament. And it's going to be very, very difficult to stop them. I think the problem for Argentina will be whether their midfield is going to be strong enough to hold everything up, because their defence is not. I wouldn't say it's the strongest. And in the World Cup 2010, that was their downfall, because they scored a bagload of goals until they played Germany.
But you look at it, they've got Gargo, who is a competent defensive midfielder, or box to box. You've got Lucas Biglia, and then you've got Mashman, guy that mashed up everyone. Mascherano, who's not a centre back for them. Thankfully, he's a defensive midfielder. But I think their midfield is strong
They
enough.
had that in the last World Cup, but their formula was wrong. They had 2 of them, and then they basically had 4 attackers, and it just didn't work. They had 2. There are so many good attackers, but they didn't know how to fit them in, and they tried to fit them all in,
And that's what
and that's where it all went wrong.
The problem I have with this squad is that they missed out on bringing, what's his name from Valencia, Benega.
Ava Benega.
I think for me,
You
you have a midfield with, I don't know, Biglia, Mascherano,
They're all enforcers,
Benega.
aren't they?
But Benega's not really.
No.
Yeah,
Benega's the one that's the ball
Yeah,
player.
you
He
have
could
Benega
have
in
had
there.
that kind of shabby role.
There you go. Then you have Messi, Di Maria, and Aguero. That's your front three. It should work.
this coach has obviously not brought in Tevez as well.
Well, he's never.
There you go.
Given him a
so, you know,
didn't
I
like
don't know
him
what
from
the
get-go.
deal was with Banega, but maybe there was something
Yeah,
that
there
he
might
didn't
be.
like.
But
But
it was in the 30-man squad. He didn't make the final cut.
I don't know because
He even went back
quality.
to Argentina. Yeah, if he had some
to play more
disputes with
games,
Valencia,
yeah.
went back to Argentina, hoping to get there. Listen, they've got a fantastic squad.
You know, we're not gonna deny
Like,
that.
you bring on Lavezzi as an impact sub, good job. Palacio, I think he scored 18 Serie A goals this season, or 17. He's had a good season. And then Maxi Rodriguez, who probably scored one of the goals of the tournament in the last World Cup.
It was an absolute screamer and it destroyed the hearts of Mexico. Absolutely tore a nation apart. But that was a goal and a half. But for me, the standout guy, I know everyone will be talking about Messi. Is Messi the captain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's been captain for a while.
Goodness. But you know, in all honesty, for me personally, it would be it's my personal favourite. It's BIA. He's the standout guy in that.
Bad intentions are great.
Bad intentions, because he never has any good intentions. None. Absolutely none.
Okay, so moving on to who, being Nigerian, I'll say the third favourites. Bosnia and Herzegovina, who really and truly should be second favourites.
Their
But-
team is quality.
Well, you have Bosnia, you've got a great goalkeeper. Not great, okay. Great is a bit hot. A bit.
He's a very
You
good
have
shot
a very
stopper.
good shot stopper goalkeeper
good shot
in
stopper.
Begovic. But as Carragher says, if you're not a good shot stopper, what are you doing in goal? So you have a good goalkeeper in Begovic. You have a very good striker in Edin Dzeko. Guy who I rate quite highly, left winger, Zenad Lulic, who plays for
It's
Lazio.
quality.
Had a very good season in Lazio as well. I think he got into the team of the season
Yeah, he did.
for
Top 11.
for BT Sports this year. You have Selihovic, who's a dead ball specialist, played for Hoffenheim. He's got guys everywhere in that team that if they find a way to gel,
Miralem Pjanic.
come on.
The only thing
Pjanic
I'm
had a
saying
great
about this
season
team,
of Roma.
going forward, this team is actually quite formidable
It's
when
the
you think
defence.
about it. It's the defence. Because
Yeah.
even Misimovic, I think he's in his 30s now, but he's been a quality player for a while. He's playing in China now, so I'm not sure how
Yeah, his levels
he's,
might be
he's not
lower
playing
now.
as probably as well as he was. But it's their defence that you kind of have to worry about. They do score a lot of goals, but they do concede. And I think if Nigeria are to qualify, this game against Bosnia, as much as they have to beat Iran, but this game against Bosnia,
Yeah, it's
will
a break-
be the
make or
key.
break.
It's make or break for them, because I think Bosnia's team going forward are, as I said, they are formidable going forward. And with Dzeko, he's a standout scorer. The guy scores goals. So, I mean, I'll be honest. I think it's going to be Argentina topping the group and Bosnia finishing second. But Nigeria, if they have any chance, they have to get a job done against Bosnia.
Well, it's not that bad because whoever finishes second in this group, fair enough that the group before this isn't the best group in the world, but you feel confident. Like if France do decide to mess up, they have their normal collapse where they start over each other, you might fancy your chances.
That's if they fall apart. If
That's
France light up that group, you don't want them in the second.
As a no-nonsense
Yeah, you
guys,
don't want them in the
these
second
guys
round. They'll
kinda
light
know-
your whole face up.
These guys kind of know what they're dealing with already.
Okay, so looking at Iran, finally, they've got Carlos Queiroz, the Portuguese
He's a good coach.
guy, is a good coach. Aslan Djaga is probably the standout player.
Yeah. Or the one that's most known.
Yeah, my
To us.
that's most new to us. Obviously, they've got Nakunem, he spent a lot of time in Spain,
Yeah, that's true.
who is now playing for Al Kuwait, 139 caps, so extremely experienced. I don't know, Djaga had a good second half of the season, but I don't know, I just don't see, having not seen much of them, I just don't see how they're going to...
To be honest,
Too much.
there was a World Cup where Iran beat USA. I'm not saying obviously they're going to
No,
beat.
that team was outstanding in
That's
on
true.
counter-attack.
That is true.
And they were unknown at the time.
Yeah,
because
they were a surprise
they
package.
Had Ali Dai, Mehdi Madavikia.
Yeah, they had a
They
few.
had some Jaziri. They had some ballers.
They had a few. But what I would say with this team, I don't expect them to get out of the group. In fact, I don't even expect them to finish third. Expect them to finish bottom, but they might pull a draw against either Nigeria or Bosnia. I've got a feeling that they might steal points off one of those two teams. I think Argentina will just steamroll them, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they should do.
Yeah,
The
on paper they
climate's
should.
there.
They should do.
Messi is... Messi's
Yeah,
got
they're
a
at
point to
home.
prove.
They're at home.
Exactly, virtually.
Really, they're at home.
Messi's got a point to prove this time. He hasn't scored a World Champions League, sorry. He hasn't scored a World Cup goal if he had scored one. He hasn't done well in the World Cups. He's almost got the Rooney syndrome, but he's not getting the abuse that Rooney's got.
Yeah, because he's won
So-
everything.
So looking at it, that group, Argentina to walk it, Nigeria and Bosnia. If Nigeria have a good start, Nigeria and Bosnia to battle out for second place, and then the group before it, Switzerland, Ecuador, France, and Honduras. France to win it, Switzerland to come second. So then you have the next round would be France versus hopefully Nigeria in my case, and then Switzerland facing off against Argentina. That could be sticky.
A couple tasty ties there.
It's not even that. It's that Switzerland will come to defend, and they're gonna be like, okay, break us down.
That's fun. That's fun.
So hopefully we'll see some good games, and then the tournament will be flowing.
Yeah, I expect it to. I mean, for me,
The second round could be a lot more tasty
Yeah.
than
There's
because of
There's
the
a
way
lot
the
of big
groups have
games. There's
been
a lot of
lined
big
up.
games.
The way the group's been lined up,
I
man,
think I'll
second
go-
round could be tasty.
I'll go Argentina, Bosnia on this one, but Bosnia really just by nicking it. I think Bosnia against Nigeria will be the decider, to be honest with you.
Just
Probably
depends
finish
who we
second.
choose, because Obabona is not a good defender.
I'm glad you admitted it.
But Kenneth Amoru is a
Yeah,
good
he's
defender. In a Cup of Nations, obviously it's stiff competition, but when we took Yoba out of the team, we were fine. Because, I don't know, Yoba, he just lost it. So bringing him back in, I know it's experience and everything else, I'm just not too sure. I'm always confident when we've got Inyama in goal, but for you who do not know, Inyama was not the guy in goal for the infamous Scotland versus Nigeria game where the goalkeeper palmed it and almost went into the back with his goal and almost conceded a crazy on goal. He's not the guy. Inyama is the one who's playing in France, quality goalkeeper.
One that
So-
looks like Skepta.
Indeed. Besides that, hopefully Nigeria can do it, and we shall see what happens. So I'd like to thank Leon, I'd like to thank Yao for another good episode.
Thank you for having me.
And next episode, we'll be touching on the final two groups of the World Cup, which are Group G and Group H.
Another couple of tasty.
Some very good groups in there. So, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Goodbye.